This video is called What Do I Do with All These Keywords? So this is one of the first questions I started getting after releasing Keyword Researcher. And that kind of surprised me at first. So what I realized is the tool is returning so many different variations of keywords that I think some people, especially people who were maybe only used to using the free Google Keyword tool, I think some people were having trouble trying to come up with different ways to use all of the keywords in their website. So in this video, I'm going to briefly go over a few typical ways you'd use these keywords in basic introductory SEO. So some of the keywords you'll find on Keyword Researcher are actually pretty good for complete article titles in and of themselves. We can see here, how does a camera lens work? Now, phrases like that you might just consider using as an article title verbatim. If the keyword addresses a question that you think your readers can get value from, then you might just want to use it how it is. So keywords like that are easy. So then we have other keywords which are not exactly complete sentences or questions, like this keyword convex camera lens. So for these types of keywords, would you really make an article about that? Maybe. Wikipedia, for example, has an article on lenses, and this phrase appears as merely a subtopic of their primary lens article. So a person might just want to do something like that, just use the keyword as a subtopic. Or this other word, night vision lenses. Now, if you actually sold night vision lenses, then this is obviously a keyword that you would use as the topic of a page, and you'd try to rank for that keyword. But if you were just merely providing lens information, then again, words like this might merely be subtopics of a much larger article on lenses, so that's up to you. And the third usage of keywords is, of course, in your off-site content as incoming anchor text in your backlinks. Now, one technique in SEO, especially these days, is to attempt to dramatically vary your incoming anchor text in an effort to make your backlink profile appear more natural. So you'd use long-tail keyword phrases as the anchor text in your incoming backlinks. So supposedly, using varied anchor text is better than just using one target keyword phrase again and again. And supposedly when you vary the backlink anchors, you might avoid any sort of over-optimization penalty, which might be levied against a website who had thousands of incoming links that all contain the same keyword phrase. So if you varied your incoming backlinks like this, would your website be safer? I'm not sure. You might be better off just using a high percentage of naked backlinks. But just pragmatically speaking, would a guy who had a backlink profile that consisted of lots of highly varied keywords, would he somehow be safer than a guy who just paid his outsourcers to only point one keyword, like the keyword camera zoom lens, at his website? Maybe. I mean, you would think so, right? But either way, if you're trying this strategy, this varied anchor text strategy, then Keyword Researcher will definitely give you lots and lots of keyword variations to choose from. So there you have it. So to review, the three ways you would use keywords would be as number one, on-site article titles, or at least ideas for article topics. And number two, for subtopics, particularly subheadings in your content. And number three, as anchor text in your backlinks. Now, which keywords do you use where? That's up to you, and that's dependent on the niche you're in and how you are monetizing your website. Some keywords you'll use in just one of these three categories, and some you'll use in all of them. So the keyword how a camera works, for example, I think it's pretty obvious that would make for a great article. If you had a camera website and people want to know how a camera works, and if that's what your article is about, then that's an example of a keyword that you would use just as an article title verbatim. And again, to rank that article, you might also consider using that as incoming anchor text as well. That'd be pretty standard. Words like camera lens new. So lots of times when people use a search engine, they type in keywords that are not particularly grammatically correct. So what some SEOs have been known to do is to use words like this as incoming anchor text in the hope that Google will feature their website, even for queries that are not exactly grammatically proper, in that you wouldn't really put the word camera lens new in your actual on-site content if you were trying to create proper content. But they're theorizing that the act of ranking that article with the phrase that people are actually typing in would somehow improve their visibility in the search engines, and maybe they have a point. So this other word, big camera lens, is also kind of an example of a topic that really doesn't have much panache to it. I mean, would you really use the words big camera lens if you were writing a sophisticated article about something as complicated as lenses? Maybe. You also might use synonyms or have a section of your content on zoom lenses. There's lots of options there. Now, with concave camera lens, that might be similar to how we mentioned Wikipedia did it. They use it as a subtopic itself, but the keyword might also be great for incoming anchor text and maybe a content article itself if you had a website that featured a lot of camera lens information, for example. Okay, so I hope that explains a bit about how you'd use keywords generated from Keyword Researcher